Well, hello there. It's been a while since I did a video. Here, in this clip, I'm going to show you a Cisco 7970 series VoIP set. The way it went was a couple years ago, a friend of mine, of over a decade, had given me this Cisco VoIP phone. I won't get to too much details because it would involve confidentiality, but she's a job coach for people with disabilities, and there was an individual that bought this Cisco VoIP phone from like a yard sale and thought he could hook it up to the company's network, of which I used to work at. And thinking, well, this would be the most, perfect example of a bring your own device. But as you know, even if you bought this phone from the street, you have to pay a license to use this phone. I don't think the 7970s are egregiously expensive, but it still would be too much for them to expend for that. So that individual didn't want it anymore, so I became the lucky owner. Now, I know I sound kind of funny because I'm just recovering from a cold, and my mom told me that I sound cute. My voice sounds a little bit different when I'm under the weather. They're very notorious for breaking, especially for the kickstand space. I have another 7970 that I acquired, and I think it unplugged. Try again here. Sorry. And, oops, I think I got a loose plug here. I'm gonna have to either. The other thing with, oh my goodness, we're gonna have problems, aren't we? It's part of doing a show live to tape, right? 900 series phones tend to, age not so gracefully in terms of the kickstand space, and that doesn't really help matters in the fact that pieces go flying. There's a very audible loose component in this set, which kind of sucks because they but if you have the kickstand does not work for the ones with the sidecars with the 7914s. So I believe, if I'm not mistaken, you take out the kickstand or you just restrain it on that special piece. So if you have a situation like that, you can just add a sidecar. Now, this is a really cool backdrop. I wish I can extract this from the phone, but you really can't do it on this version. It looks like it was a piece from around here. The phone has not been used for about 10 years, believe it or not. And that's kind of interesting to note. This does use this skinny load, if I'm not mistaken, so there's no extension information. But this version uses an earlier software back when Cisco had their old logo, as you see up here, because you saw that as it was booting up. So if you plug this to a modern CallManager, 9 times out of 10 it's going to put in new firmware. So one thing you could tell that the software is old is that when you go to each screen, there's all uppercase letters. That's one way you can tell. Another thing you can tell is that even directory, you think services, this is all in uppercase letters. That's one thing I can tell you that is old. The Java GUI operating system for embedded devices, and this is kind of an embedded device. The date up on top, when the Cisco is not plugged into a call control environment, it goes by the default date of when the software was completed. So I guess this birthday of the Cisco phone is 10:03 Pacific time on January, my God, January 25th, 2004, which on Saturday it will be 15 years old, right? If I'm doing my math right, it'll be 15 years ago. Wow, crazy. Ironic. The ringtone, actually, the ringtone that was set up was the "Are You There?" ringtones. If anyone knows the CallManager well enough, that's really annoying. I'm not sure if it had the female voice. I think it said "F." So, yeah, rather interesting. One other thing to the device configuration. I think this is it. Oh, it's not on here. Yes. Oh, it showed it on the screen. The CallManager name was Gigantic. That was a funny name. Wonder what that meant. The call logs, I won't show you too much because of personal information. It has numbers from the 408 area code, which would be California. Received calls seem to come from Meeting Place 525, but Cisco Systems 978. So I'm wondering if this phone came from a Cisco site and someone just happened to have it on a yard sale in Essex County, Massachusetts. Looked like they were calling Tennessee because that's a 615 area code. 919, I think that's California. So that was kind of interesting. I mean, this is stuff you really should not, you shouldn't, when you're getting rid of any telephone, even if it's a regular landline, clear your logs and your messages, please. Because this is how people get identity theft or bad people, creeps wanting to call you, kind of the thing. So that's my theory where this came from. It looked like it came from a Cisco Systems corporate phone, just giving the phone numbers. Maybe I could actually Google that 978 number. Cisco once upon a time had East Coast representation. They used to have an office in Salem, New Hampshire, and then they left because the technicians there thought that Boston and New Hampshire was too far. By 30 freaking miles, for God's sakes. So, that is basically it in a nutshell. I don't want to change the firmware just because of the vintage, and that screen is so cool because it just looks like basically a wetland in New England. I know when you do change the firmware, the screen won't change, so it's kind of collectible, and I wasn't wanting to use this for production anyways, but this came from a friend of mine, like I said. So that's basically it, and hope you enjoy this very quick video as I kind of cheating my way through it with a loose Ethernet cable, and hope to see you soon. I hope I won't be a stranger again on the net. Bye bye.